world just got rocked by a storm of drama, emotions, and shocking truths. If you thought this week was going to be calm, think again, because everything from Jon Jones' future to Macy Barber's health crisis is turning into a full-blown saga. Let's start with the jaw-dropping bomb that John McCarthy just dropped about Jon Jones. It's not just fight talk, it's weird, personal, and borderline disturbing. So apparently before one of Jon's fights, he approached McCarthy in a totally bizarre way. To make his point, Jon used an example involving a jiu-jitsu black belt commissioner. Then, out of nowhere, Jon literally put McCarthy in guard and mimicked a sexual act. Yes, you heard that right. Jon later tried to pass it off as just a joke. But people around him weren't laughing. His longtime coach Greg Jackson even had to apologize for the behavior. It was that bad.
But when I went into Jon's locker room, he's bouncing around, he's having a good time. And so I got a question for you. I said, yeah, what's your question? And he says, I need somebody. And there's an individual there, and that individual was a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and was working for the commission. And he says, is someone getting on the ground for me, right? And so this guy, being a ground guy, and being someone that was, man, I'm in Jon Jones's locker room. This is great. And so he says, oh, I'll do it for you. He says, I know how to roll. And so he goes down. He says, just put me in guard, right? And then Jon decides to do a sexual act, saying, what if I do this, right? This isn't illegal, right? And the guy who was on the ground, quickly his eyes went, as big as they could get. Like, what are you doing? And I said, Jon, knock it off, right? And I help the person up. And he goes, I'm just joking. And he goes, but really, what could you do? I said, I could disqualify you for being unsportsmanlike. Go ahead and do it. Let's see what happens.
I could see if he did that like with a buddy of his, like goofing around.
Different.
That's different than some random commissioner in the back, a random fan, a random person who's working as an usher or something like that. You're like, yeah, get down here, and then you do it to some person you've never met before.
And that's why Greg Jackson comes up to me and says, Jon, I'm sorry you did that. And I go, Greg, it ain't you. And I go, he's just a dip.
Yep. I mean, like I said, a lot of the choices that he's made throughout his life has directly affected, I think, how people perceive him.
Yeah.
And sadly, it's not in a good light.
Now fast forward to UFC Vegas 107, and the main event everyone was hyped for, Aaron Blanchfield vs. Macy Barber. But just minutes before they were supposed to walk out, it was over. Macy reportedly had a seizure backstage, and the broadcast crew had to announce that she was not medically cleared to fight. As if that wasn't already enough, she also missed weight. She came in at 126.12 pounds, crossing the limit. So what now? Well, Aaron Blanchfield still got paid, both show and win bonuses. But she was not quiet about how she felt. Aaron lashed out at Macy, calling her life a mess, even saying she should probably move to another division. Oof. And then Macy clapped back. On Instagram, she posted, "Not what I planned for a Sunday post. Thank you to everyone for the prayers and support. I owe an apology to UFC, Mick Maynard, Dana White, Sean Shelby, and Aaron Blanchfield. P.S. My life is not messy. This is just a bad hand. We'll get to the bottom of it all and be back."
1969 start.
Meanwhile, Sean Strickland is talking about money, real money. He revealed that his net worth is about $4 million, 0 cents, right now, and by the time he wraps up his fighting career, he's aiming for $8, 0 cents, 10 million.
My net worth is probably about $4 million, liquid. When I say liquid, I mean in investments.
Gotcha.
I have about $500,000 in real estate, and the rest is in like different accounts. By the time I'm done fighting, worst case scenario, I'll probably have like a net worth of like 8 to 10 million.
And you could just live off that.
I could live off that. I would do about a 5% withdrawal. So 5% withdrawal of like 8 million, was it like 400,000?
A year, yeah.
Yeah, so when I'm done, I'll probably be making about 400K a year at a 5% withdrawal. Now mind you, I'm still gonna leave 5% in to grow.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I won't stop. Like, I like to work.
And speaking of careers, Sean Ali just revealed he's planning to fight until he's 37 or 38. The rematch with Merab Dvalishvili is right around the corner, and the energy is real.
I train in the morning, recover, take a nap in the day, train again in the afternoon. It's like I don't really have energy to go do stuff, and right now I'm so focused on just like, not even just fighting Merab, but like I want to fight till I'm 37, 38. Like, I'll fight as long as my body holds up. And for that to be the case, I have to take recovery as serious as I take training. And I have been doing that, and I think it'll pay off. And I'm 30 now.
Yeah.
And I think I got some good years in me.
Now back to Jon Jones for a second, because his emotional baggage with Daniel Cormier, it's still haunting him. Jon got candid. He said his rivalry with Cormier brought out the worst version of himself. One time during a leaked interview, DC told him he wanted to spit in his face. Jon wasn't sure if he was bluffing or not, and that anxiety stuck with him.
I wish they would let me next door so I could spit in your face.
Jon got deep. He admitted, Daniel Cormier, he aged me. I fight out of love. But with him, it was hate. I couldn't stand the idea of losing to him. I trained on Christmas Day just because I couldn't stand him. It pushed me to beat him, but I never want to feel that hate again. That rivalry, it was too much. Jon recalled a leaked backstage moment where he literally said to Cormier, if you spit in my face, I'll kill you. And he meant it. That wasn't just trash talk, that was real anger. He said they almost fought on the street. They actually did fight at the MGM Grand Lobby. For Jon, DC was the one guy where on-site really meant on-site. He said it wasn't fun living that kind of life, even though it made for entertaining fights. Then there's Kayla Harrison, who's been clashing with Juliana Pena over, steroids. Juliana accused Kayla of taking PEDs ahead of their fight this weekend. Kayla clapped back hard in an interview with MMA Fighting. She said, it just screams insecurity. I don't take it personally. I think she's scared. She talks trash because that's who she is. She did it with Amanda Nunes too. It's just her personality. But it's sad. It sounds like a miserable way to live. Kayla also explained she's been drug tested since middle school, when she was already competing nationally in judo. She's like, I've probably been tested more than anyone in the UFC. I'm clean. I work really, really hard.
I will say that back then in the Olympics, she looked, like a girl, very feminine, and now she looks super juicy and like cut up.
Meanwhile, Jon Anik made a huge statement that got everyone talking. He said it loud and proud. Merab Dvalishvili is already the greatest bantamweight of all time. Yes, even more than his close friend Dominic Cruz. Anik said Merab has left a trail of champions in his wake. He beat Henry Cejudo, Petr Yan, Jose Aldo, and even Sean Ali. Then he defended his title against Umar Nurmagomedov, and now he's gearing up for a rematch. Merab also gave fans an update on his injury in a new video on Aljamain Sterling's YouTube channel. He showed his swollen toe, admitting it still hurts when he kicks, but he's hopeful it'll be okay by UFC 316.
That was from Thursday or Saturday. I was, I sparring with you 3 rounds, and after I go with Cameron.
Yeah.
And I landed him like my kick, and then that's where I pelted. And I felt it was weird. I finished the round, it was no problem. Like in nighttime I feel the pain, I put the ice, but next day still was swallowing and black and blue.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't, but it's still chubby, it's still like fat, but like it's a little toe, and then not really. Like now I feel it every time I kick now, feel it, but like when I walk, no problem.
Yeah.
But if I kick, this toe, but it's I should be fine. I still have like 8 days.
Yeah, I figured it wasn't bothering you too much, because I mean normally like people would say something, but I haven't heard you say anything about it, like watch this or anything like that. So so I wasn't sure if it was like
But the biggest shakeup came from Tom Aspinall. Tom finally said what fans have been whispering about for months. Jon Jones is done. In an interview with Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen, Tom dropped the bomb. Nah man, Jon's retired. What are you guys talking about? Y'all don't follow him on social media? He's living his best life. The guy's had a fantastic career. We know he's a religious man, so God bless him, but we move on. Then Tom doubled down. He posted the interview on his Instagram story with a clear message. Want to be the first to wish Jon all the best in his retirement. Let's get this division going at UFC. He didn't stop there. Tom got serious about the state of the heavyweight division, saying, I'm the undisputed champion. I'm ready to take on all comers. This division needs to move. We've all been waiting too long. The fans are sick of this. Jon's done. Let's go. And just like that, Tom Aspinall is closing the book on Jon Jones. No more waiting, no more stalling. He's ready to fight, defend, and bring the heat. So it's finally happening. Tom Aspinall has had enough. In a recent interview with Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen, Tom just said it plainly. Jon's retired. What are we even talking about? He pointed out that if you follow Jon on social media, it's clear Jon's living his best life. No fight announcements, no training camps, no signs of a comeback, just peace, God, and posting. Tom said Jon's had an incredible career and now it's time to move on. He even reposted the interview on Instagram and wrote, "Want to be the first to wish Jon all the best in his retirement. Let's get this division going at UFC." And that's the part that shook the fans and fighters alike, because Tom wasn't just making a statement, he was drawing the line. "I'm the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I'm ready to fight everyone. Let's stop waiting around." That's a big deal. It means Jon Jones, the man who dominated for over a decade, is no longer in the title picture. At least not in Tom's eyes. And truth be told, a lot of fans agree. The heavyweight division has been stuck in limbo. Everyone's been waiting for Jon, but Tom's done waiting. He wants action. The contenders want fights, and the fans, they're tired of the silence. Now shifting to Merab Dvalishvili, he gave a small but honest update on his toe injury ahead of UFC 316. He said the swelling is still there and he feels slight pain when he kicks, but he's hoping it won't affect the fight. And that's important because Sean Ali is coming for that belt again. He already said he's fighting until 37 or 38, which means he's not here to be a stepping stone. He wants revenge. And Merab? He's trying to hold it all together on one swollen toe. Let's not forget, Jon Anik recently called Merab the greatest bantamweight of all time, which is massive. Especially coming from a guy who considers Dominic Cruz one of his best friends. Anik said Merab's modern-era dominance is just unmatched. 12 straight wins, big names taken out, title defenses, that's GOAT level, and now everyone's watching him closely. At the same time, Kayla Harrison and Juliana Pena are going at it in the media. Juliana accused Kayla of taking PEDs and Kayla fired back hard. She said the accusation screams insecurity and fear, that Juliana's always been this way, loud, aggressive, and always trying to poke at people. "I've never taken steroids. I was tested in middle school. I've been tested more than most UFC fighters." She said Juliana throws shade at everyone. Amanda Nunes, her, and now it's just her patent, but Kayla? She's not bothered. She said the truth will come out in the cage. And lastly, we still can't forget Maycee Barber's seizure at UFC Vegas 107. It's still one of the most shocking moments in recent UFC history. She collapsed just before the walkout. Missed weight. Fight cancelled. Merab Dvalishvili didn't hold back. She called Maycee's life a mess and suggested she find a new division. And Maycee responded saying, "It's not that my life is a mess, this is just a bad hand." But fans are still confused. Was it a health issue, mental pressure, something deeper? No one knows. What we do know is that Maycee needs time and Aaron wants her revenge. So where does this leave us? Jon Jones? Done. Retired, according to Tom. Tom Aspinall? Taken over the division. Merab? Injured but still standing. Sean Ali ready to make a statement. Kayla and Juliana about to explode in the cage. Maycee healing and under pressure. The torch has officially been passed. The new generation of fighters is speaking louder than ever, and the fight world will never be the same again.